very proud to have here today Netmore and the CEO of Netmore. And Netmore is a company that focuses on sustainability from a very different perspective than we heard this morning, namely the water solution. And I think one of the very interesting things is that all of you who have arrived here in Barcelona probably got the message about the water scarcity that we're all facing here in Spain, especially also in this area. And I think you are one of the parties to bring a solution to that. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? So what is Netmore doing to resolve the water scarcity issue?
Yeah, this message, indeed, when I arrived in Barcelona, I got this message. And this is a very good illustration that everybody is talking about water shortage. It's not a future issue. It's not about 30 years. It's happening now. If you arrive in the summer over here, there's a water issue. And I'm an engineer. I try to solve big world problems with technology. And what we do is we provide IoT networks which help water companies to accelerate the digitalization.
So and for everybody not being a specialist, what is an IoT network? So what does that mean?
Yeah, what we do is in the digitalization of these water companies, they ask for data, and with data they can better manage their network and look for leakage in their network. For that, they need their devices, their water meters, to actually communicate what they are doing. It's a device, it's a thing, and they communicate over the Internet of Things.
Right. So it sounds quite logic that you measure your water consumption. Is that not already happening everywhere in the world?
Yeah, that would be nice. But since in order to measure, you need to have devices on the water meter, and close to the water meter there is rarely electricity available. So you need to have battery-operated devices. And it's only since a few years that the devices and the communication technology and the battery technology are sufficient to actually deploy this kind of solutions on a large scale.
So in the Netherlands, we're all familiar with the slimme meter, the energy meter.
Yep.
And apparently, so that is feasible because there is electricity in already your cupboard where everything is being measured. And that's not with water the case.
No, with the water is in general in the Netherlands, a lot of places this is where the gas and electricity is, and the water is deep down under in front of your door or somewhere else. Yeah. So since that now with our network, which is why is there a new network needed instead of, like, for example, Wi-Fi or 5G? Is that you need a network that can communicate very energy efficient. Otherwise, you have to charge your meter like your telephone every day, and that's not what we want to do. So these devices need to operate for 15 years long.
Okay, so you have a solution to provide connection to a network, and that can last for 15 years. Can you tell more about that? How does that work? How do you get connectivity where there is no energy supply?
Okay, so these devices are operated, they measure. There's, of course, a battery in it, there's a piece of electronics in it, and we deploy a network. We just install, we are an operator, we are a telecoms party. But what happens is the device that communicates only when it's needed. Oh, sorry. Yep. It's only communicating when it's needed. So meaning it sends 2 times a day, it sends a very short message, cheep, and then it goes back to sleep. So in that way, instead of communicating like, hey, I'm there, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Are you really sure? Yes, I'm sure. And that's how a telephone communicates. And that drains your battery. The advantage is that you're always immediately online, but a water meter does not need that. So it just needs to communicate whenever, it needs a short message.
Now this is all technical, made feasible by Netmore. What is needed to make sure we have these meters rolled out all over, the world basically, to make sure the water scarcity issue is being resolved? Or
that's one of our biggest challenges. If you look at the world scale, about 50% of the electricity meters is already smart, which is yet another 50 to go. But for water meters, it's less than 5%. And the reason for that, somebody just asked me, is, I thought it was a good question, is because of the technology is only available for the last 5 years. So we have a big leap to take yet. And so what is needed is the first sense of urgency, well, which you received a message from Barcelona. The urgency is there. Secondly, maybe governments can think about how to use their resources to accelerate the adoption of smart water metering, for example, with legislation or something.
And if you think about a kind of chain of water companies, consumers, big companies, the government, what kind of organizations do you need to roll out a smart water meter all over to the communities? What is needed for that?
Yeah, that differs per country. The drinking water market is different per country. For example, in the Netherlands, we have 10 water companies owned by, well, local governments, and they are in charge of deploying hundred thousands of meters. If you go to the Scandics, there a small town is responsible for its water production and deploying its own network. If you go to the US, you have a few tens of thousands of smaller water companies being responsible for their own production and distribution. So it needs another architecture of the network and a rollout. And if you focus on the Netherlands, go back to the Netherlands, since there are 10 water companies, and we have an actual water production issue coming up. If you go to the east of the Netherlands, they already have a water shortage in the summer. Then legislation would help to accelerate the adoption of smart water.
And what kind of legislation do you need? What will make a difference? What should it look like?
Well, if you look at Belgium, for example, they have already accepted a law stated in 2030 every water meter must be smart. It's as simple as that.
And regarding your solution, do you already have working solutions in place or municipalities that are already using your water meter?
Yeah, we have tens of thousands of water meters. I'll show you an example of Yorkshire Water. There you go. We have in the UK, this is comparable to the Netherlands. You have large drinking water companies. One of them is Yorkshire Water, and they have. In the UK, they have an issue with leaking water, non-revenue water which is produced but not ending up with end user. It's 30%. 30%. In the Netherlands, it's below 5%. So over there, they have selected Netmore to deploy smart water meter infrastructure. And what we do there is we deploy the water meters. We're responsible for deploying water meters in the same speed as we deploy the network. So the total architecture I just showed you, from meter to data, that's what we are doing there with Yorkshire Water. And already, since we deployed the use case with Yorkshire Water, they are already detecting leakages. So that's a good example.
And do you have examples of other companies or other countries where this is happening?
Yes, of course. The southern country, Spain here, for example, has a similar problem with non-revenue water. Actually, the Netherlands, might be kind of proud of having such a low, non-revenue water of only lower than 5%. The issue is in the Netherlands is what I've understood is that the only leakage we have in the Netherlands is because of moving grounds. Like a highway. Sometimes you have a bump in the highway because of the soil going down, which breaks a connection. So that's the only issue we have. We don't have an issue of old infrastructure, and which as in the UK where they use lead lines, etc.
All right. And what besides metering, what are the main benefits of measuring and the main results that make sure there is no more water spillage, for example? What apart from a meter, what else can we do to be very careful with our sweet water supply?
Yeah, well, one of the benefits of smart metering in general is that you once you give an end user insight in their usage, the moment they have insight, they start to use less. So it's a proven case with electricity and with gas and with other countries with water. As soon as you start to provide the end user with data, they start to use less. There are a lot of research reports about it. It varies from 5% to 10%. So that the goal for smart water metering would be to give you as an end user insight in your water meter on a daily basis, instead of once a year you fill in a number and you have no idea what it means, how many cubical meters of water you have used. No idea. But if you gave it on a daily base and you see a peak or a dip or whatever, then you can draw conclusions and, well, knowingly or unknowingly, you're going to change your behavior and start to use less. In the Netherlands, there's a water usage per day of a general household of 130 liters.
130 liters.
130.
Okay,
The
wow.
European average is 100 liters. So the Dutch government has said it has to go down. Well, it's nice to say it, but we have to do something about it. And
Well,
we hope to help with that.
If I compare the situation, I live in Amsterdam, and for example, we don't even have a water meter. We pay a fixed price.
So
there
how
is
much water do you use?
I have no clue. And there is also
I rest
no
my case.
incentive. It doesn't matter how much I use.
Exactly.
So there is absolutely a way to improve it.
Yeah, we can't wait to help you.
Well, I don't know whether there is anybody from the municipality of Amsterdam here. Oh, wow. So maybe
okay, join in.
we can make some connections there. If you look forward, where do you see Netmore in about 5 years from now? What would be the next steps for Netmore?
Well, the next step forward would be to extend the local presence. Now we have local entities in most European countries participating in any water. If there is a water tender in Europe, we participate. And recently, a month ago, we acquired the largest US network, and they have the same approach in all the states. They have use cases in natural gas. There's a lot of gas measuring over there, and water. In 5 years, we will be present in Asia as well, so extended with the goal of accelerating the digitalization of mainly utility and drinking water companies. That's our goal, not to deploy our network. We want to accelerate the digitalization and save water, save gas, save,
And with the digitalization, gain insight, and with the insight, make sure
that's the effects. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And if you look to all the people that are here today, and you would give them one message to make sure we make more the next sustainable steps, what would be your call to action to all the visitors here today?
Well, the call to action would be save water. Don't wait for a smart meter. You can already save water. But if you can, order as possible or ask your water company if you can get a smart water meter. Maybe that, speeds up the process.
I think that's a very good advice to all of us here. All right, I'd like to thank you very much. And
You're welcome.
wish you a very good next days here in Barcelona.